since you got here. It's caused chaos.
Happy April, everyone! Were you in the mood for more Woody the Woodpecker? Because this is not a movie I was expected to see as a pop-up on my sub box. In keeping up with my strange 2024 New Year's resolution, I'm just trying to cover any animated movie news for the whole year, and I've come to notice in doing this for 3 months that typically the very first week of every month is the most meaty when it comes to trailer content, and this one seems like an April Fool's joke. Being revealed to us on the 29th of March, actually, they're making a Woody the Woodpecker live-action hybrid movie. And I mean, just look at it. And this isn't even the first one, believe it or not. Woody Woodpecker Goes to Camp is a Netflix after-school project. Apparently there's a whole different YouTube channel that's dedicated to fun new shows and movies. You know, it's kind of the side projects of theirs. But still, this series is a series now. And I didn't know this original movie existed back in 2017. Did you? I doubt it. Woody Woodpecker, I for some reason always thought there was a "the" in the middle. The 2017 film came out with a budget of $10 million and made a profit of 5.3 on top of getting their $10 million back. Being covered under the Universal Animation Studios brand, it looks kind of the same as the main trailer. What's particularly interesting is, on top of the fact that nobody I know has ever heard of this damn thing, and it looks pretty, you know, let's say youthful. Sure, I guess that's valid, it's a demographic. The actual reviews for the initial movie 7 years ago is not good. Having a 4.2 out of 10 on IMDb, a 35% from audiences on Rotten Tomatoes, and 13% by critics. Of all the movies to get a sequel, this is not one I would have expected. Very clearly being another one of those cases of, hey, we own an IP, let's make something out of it. And let's do so in a very classical cliche way by just sending them to camp. It's an American trope with an iconic-ish character. I never watched the initial Woody Woodpecker cartoons, and I'm only really familiar with that laugh, but if you are a fan of that laugh, I think this new movie is going to very quickly exhaust you, because just going by the remix of the trailer music alone...
Since you got here, it's caused...
I'm getting sick of this guy already. Woody Woodpecker's an interesting character in that I think I'm very clearly feeling the effects of aging when I watch him. I'm sure he was fun if I watched him as a kid. He's your classic chaos-inducing character. Funny antics happen around him. He's got an annoying laugh, and that's the point. I think it's the trailer's editing that makes him more annoying with that laugh remix. But also, oh god, this movie looks awful. It's a cliche-ridden trope with a character that's, you know, gonna be visually interesting, I guess, but god, are they annoying the whole way through. And now this time around with the sequel production, we got a couple new cartoony characters. Honestly, that's the part I'm most interested in. Is that fair to say? It's classic Sonic movie syndrome. I don't care about any of the shots with only humans in it. But now we've got Buzz Buzzard and Wally Walrus as well involved. Tom Kenny's playing as Wally Walrus. Okay, nice. From the looks of things, pretty much all of the initial cast have been gutted away. Only Eric Bowser as the Woody Woodpecker has come back. But beyond that, this just looks like a very... It feels very Sonic movie coded, but I don't have any high hopes for it. Now, with us being in the month of April, on top of the fact that I'm going to be paying attention for way more trailers to come my way in the next 10 days, April is also the month where all sorts of things are finally starting to release. Finally, I can use the reviews in my DazzReviews name. And Woody Woodpecker only adds to the collection, with its set release being just 2 weeks after this trailer released on April 12th. A day that everyone seems to be a fan of. I've got all sorts of things I'm keeping an eye out for this year. You got Monsters at Work, 10 Lives, Dragon Keeper, Hit Pig, the Knuckles series, Fallout as well. There's just loads of things in April. I got lots to do this month.
Guess who?
Thank you for making it halfway through this video. As per usual, do check below and subscribe if you haven't already. But also, let me know your history with Woody Woodpecker. I didn't even know he didn't have a "the" in the middle of his name, so I'm very out of my field on this. I only really remembered his laugh. So if you are a fan of Woody Woodpecker, let me know how you feel about a project like this. It'd be helpful to get the vibe before I make the review on it mid-month. Anyway, enough of me rambling here. Let me get back to rambling over there. Now, the more I try to compare the two production crews as well between Woody Woodpecker 1 and Woody Woodpecker 2, I can see practically zero parallels. The director is different, the screenplay is written by different people. It's based on the same thing. What a surprise there. Producers are all different. Absolutely nothing is the same other than the fact that it's being done by Universal Animation Studios and now distributed by Netflix. It seems like that's a new thing. Okay. Perhaps now this is actually the kickoff to an actual franchise. Nobody noticed the original movie, did you? I didn't. I mean, I was paying attention to no movies in 2017, but you know, it's still valid to mention. However, with this next one as well being made by an entirely different set of people, even Tom Kenny being involved, maybe it has more of a chance now? The idea of a live-action CGI hybrid is becoming slowly more successful. As we're working out video game adaptations and a Sonic movie being a particular standout, maybe there is room to make something like this work. The trailer alone is not giving me a lot of hopes, but this would be way better platform than anything before. And if it's a fresh crew of people, maybe it's a fresh start on a positive review. Or the chances of that, anyway. I'm a big fan of slapstick comedy. I love my cartoons. My entire channel is animated movies, if you've noticed. Sometimes I lose my soul every time I watch a movie, but this really is right up my alley. I don't have high hopes, since it seems pretty cliche in a lot of ways, but at the same time, it's just playing it safe. Maybe it is meant to be a fresh restart, a reboot. The only idea we have for the premise of the story is that Woody Woodpecker gets kicked out of the forest and then thinks they found a forever home at Camp Woohoo. And also there's an inspector threatening to shut down the camp. You know, classic, simple and safe. Maybe they are trying to get the Warner Brothers Looney Tunes vibe, and if they get the success anywhere close to the Sonic movie, then they're off and running with it. When I first initially saw this trailer, the immediate vibes I was getting was Chip and Dale. It was trying to do another Chip and Dale. Although the details are a lot more blurred with that, considering there's far less human characters, but it is set in a realistic world, which is interesting. For the Chip and Dale movie, at least, that got an 80% and 79% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a cool 7 out of 10 on IMDb. You know, it was decent. I remember really enjoying that movie. So this Woody Woodpecker movie really falls into a specific subgenre, I think, of the animation industry, going for a little bit of a hodgepodge of several things, all the while covering it in a very safe lens, I think because of the lack of success from the first movie. But I mean, when you look at that first movie, that kind of explains itself. Maybe this goes somewhere. It's certainly a character I haven't thought about in absolute years. I think I remember hearing his voice in like year 1. When was that? 20 years ago? My god. Really, it's just up in the air, and that's kind of exciting. I'll get around to watching this movie on April 12th if I'm not too busy. It does clash with the Fallout TV show, and I'll loop back round to you to let you know how it is. But there's a surprise reveal from Netflix and Universal. Hopefully for the rest of this week, there'll be some slightly more enticing trailers coming out for this month, eh? For now, though, my name's been Daz. Thank you for making it to the very end. What are your thoughts on Woody Woodpecker? Have you seen the original cartoons? Are you a big fan? Is this a great homage to you, or just hodgepodge? I'm a little less educated when it comes to Woody. But on that note, I shall see you in a little bit.